Students, our topic is strategies for enhancement in food production. Okay. Strategies or tactics or techniques. Strategies, nothing but tactics or techniques. Tactics or techniques. Okay. What we should follow for enhancement in food production? I think you know well about food. What is food? Okay. Food is a material what taken by all living organisms for getting nourishment and energy for their metabolic activities is known as food. So that without food no organism survive on the land, you know. So on this earth, especially human beings and all other animals, they depends completely on autotrophic organisms. The organisms which are preparing their own food are called autotrophs. Those autotrophs are, means what it is, this food production more delivered by autotrophs. Recall the information what already we know. Autotrophs. These autotrophs mostly what they are? Green plants. Green plants. Everyone's life, whether animals or human beings, these autotrophs play very much important role for providing food because that food naturally synthesized by autotrophic organisms like green plants. How do they prepare their own food? Which food? Fix or staple food to all of us. That is from green plants. Through the process of photosynthesis, how naturally they preparing their food and store the food in a different forms of plants as products what we are obtaining for our usage of food purpose. Food purpose we are using different kinds of parts of the plants. Some are we are using leaves as leafy vegetables. Some are we are using fruits. Some are we are using roots. Some are we are using stem part, like different kinds of parts of the plants we are using as food. And animals, they are taking food from the plants. Everybody they directly depends on the autotrophic organisms like green plants, which they are going to fix the food to all the living organisms or life forms on the earth. Understood? So you know, from long years, this food is completely produced by the green plants continuously. The food is a supplement to all the humans and animals. Naturally this process is going on. Then why we are going to discuss about the topic strategies for enhancement in food production? What is the need to discuss about the increasing productivity of food, increasing food sources? Why we should go for increasing food sources, food productivity? Now why we have that situation? Because only the region in the world or in the country or in the world, rapid population growth increases. Rapid population growth increases. Decade to decade, the population growth is going to be increases. Understood? In this situation, to lead our life, to construct buildings, to construct industries, factories, whatever the commercial purposes, we just people are prohibit the land, prohibit the farmland into commercial land. Then where is the possibility to increase acreage, the land which preferred for cultivation? No. That too we have though we are prohibit the land from cultivated land to commercial land, we have very minimum area only we are followed to do the acreage or farming. The farmer who are going to continuous to do the field of agriculture, in that particular field also no favorable situations, no climatic conditions properly to the plants and their growth or crop plants which they are giving more productivity what we are expecting to take food from the plants. In this situation, there is no more chance to compensate the requirement of food by all the people in the country and in the world. So, in this situation, the people who are going to take right and serious and challenging steps to incorporate the new techniques and new manageable practices or new techniques or methods or tactics or strategies what should incorporate into the field of agriculture for the food production more through which we erase the problem of scarce of food in the country and scarce of food in the world, students. Now you got the point? So without food there is no life. What the food is there naturally, taken by the naturally from the plants is not sufficient because rate of population is very high. In this situation, in this time, if you are not take right steps to introduce techniques and tactics into the field of agriculture, where is the possibility to erase the world of hunger or country of hunger or starvation of food, scarce of food, the people who are not meet to get food in the regular time in a day. So that's why the people in the scientific way are going to add so many techniques and tactics to increase the productivity of food from the plants, understood, and overcome the adverse conditions what created by the environment. In the environment, the climatic conditions are also not stable, you know. Okay, century to century time or decade to decade, slowly the rate of the particular climatic factors and their proportions and their effectives are going to be changed, you know. So in this scenario, how do these plants are growing well to give more productivity? No. Understood? Automatically their particular phenotypic and genotypic and phenotypic characters slowly are going to be changed, evolved, which is not give more quality and quantity food on which we all depends. Try to understand. So in this situation, the plants first overcome the adverse conditions, overcome the extreme temperature, extreme salinity, extreme drought conditions and diseases, pathogenic activities, what disease, what plant diseases we see and how we are going to incorporate the new techniques and methods for increasing the quality and the quantity of the food. Everything just to be done through the methods, incorporate the new methods and techniques or strategies in the food production of food, dear students. So let us know something about this topic, okay, as introductory part. In that introduction of the topic, here for long time onwards, the people continuously farming, continuously doing this particular farming through which they are producing food, understood. That is generally we are calling what? Traditional farming. Are you listening? Traditional farming. Through this traditional farming, the people, the humans and animals gathered food in limited biomass only, with limited biomass. Okay, limited biomass. Biomass means the food productivity what we are obtaining. Okay, limited biomass of food obtained by traditional farming, obtained by traditional farming to humans and plants as food. If you follow traditional farming, okay, if you follow traditional farming, we have limited biomass of food obtained by traditional farming to humans and plants as food. So it is not suitable. If you are following this traditional farming, the food is not sufficient to all the people in the world or in the country. Then what should we do? Then after that, slowly, this is the traditional farming are going to be altered, modified by modern or good or modern manageable practices good manageable practices in the field of agriculture, in the field of farming, in the field of agriculture are trying to increase in acreage. Acreage means what it is? The land which we prefer to grow crop plants. Okay, increase acreage, but up to some limited extent, some limited extent. The factors are not cooperated, though we are following modern or manageable practices in the field of agriculture. What we are trying to increase the acreage means the land which we are preferred to grow crop plants with very good agricultural practices, manageable practices, means by giving irrigation, by using some modern methods to increase the productivity of food, but it is up to some extent of time and extent of factors are only cooperated to continue this particular program to through which we are trying to increase the food productivity. Understood? So that's why in this situation it is not the proper methods or tactics to increase the high rate of high productivity of food through which we compensate the requirement of food by all the people. Then we go for another methods and which are completely made by the tactics, different kinds of tactics and techniques and strategies through which we can easy to give the more variety of plants which can able to give desirable traits and desirable characters in which the plant or food productivity what we are obtaining from the plants. Understood? So that is the farming we are going to discuss. That is what it is. That is the method we are calling what plant breeding. What it is? Plant breeding. What we done through the plant breeding methods we use in classical breeding, classical plant breeding, classical plant breeding. Understand? So through which we incorporate all these other tactics and techniques and strategies for increase the food production. It is this is the classical plant breeding. What we done it in a large extent. What it is? Large extent. We can grown up these techniques, follow this plant breeding, classical plant breeding methods, where we are going to change the, alter the, modify the genetic makeup of plants, through which the plants can easily to adapt to the climatic conditions, environmental conditions, which are not favorable to plants. Though those conditions are not favorable to plants, how these plants overcome those extreme conditions, what already resistance we given to the plants by changing the, by alteration of genes or modification of the genes in the new plants or new cultivars what introduced into the field of agriculture. That is the new methods and techniques through which we are going to alter the genetic information and genetic makeup, through which we are going to give permanent changes in all the aspects, permanent changes in all the traits or characters, on which characters we depends to get food. Understood? We depends to get food or production, whatever it may be. The production should be in desirable in characters, desirable characters. The particular production should be with desirable characters, that should be incorporated, that should be produced only through the permanent change what given by the genetic sequence present in the plants are going to be modified and altered, through which we have taken permanent desirable characters in all the plant pots what we see in the new cultivars. Now got the point? So before going to discuss about plant breeding methods what we incorporate into the classical plant breeding, we better to discuss about history of the plant breeding. Okay, before 9,000 years to 11,000 years ago, in man civilization what generally we are observing, then where a man started that cultivation, it started maximum before 9,000 to 11,000 years, that is the farming we are calling conventional farming. Conventional farming started before 9,000 to 11,000 years, conventional farming. In this conventional farming, we are using the plants, all are called domesticated plants. Domesticated plants or domesticated crop plants. Domesticated crop plants are nothing but local varieties. Local varieties or wild varieties. Wild varieties. Wild varieties means what it is? Pure plants without any artificial changes, without any man-made changes in the plants. Naturally, whatever the change is taking place, that is there in the plants. Those plants themselves, they are producing their young generations without any manipulations by man. Naturally, some more changes may occur, but those are plants come from last thousands of years. From last thousands of years, those are called local varieties or wild varieties or domesticated plants, or the plants what they are using in the particular farming called conventional farming. This conventional farming may not reach the requirement of food what needed by the people in the world. Understood? It is not give that much high yielding, high productivity, means a quantity with much quality, which is only giving that particular food from the plants when the plants grow healthy. Grow healthy and well, growing of plants are only able to give high productivity. To grow well, the plant should overcome the adverse conditions from environmental stress, like environmental stresses, like extreme temperature, salinity, drought conditions, or they have to overcome the pathogens, disease causing organisms like bacteria, fungi, viruses, understood, and they have to overcome or increase the tolerance towards the insect pests also. When all these are the different kinds of extreme situations, focus to all the plants in the nature, focus to all the plants like domesticated plants, when they overcome those conditions, then definitely they grow well and give right and appropriate amounts of food to all of us. But naturally it is not possible. Of course, if it may possible, but it is taking time much. Understood? They requires to get those changes by tedious time. Tedious time means what it is? Longer time is needed to get changes. But until the time we are the people are not withstand without food. So that's why the requirement of food is very much high. The demand of food is more in the country and in the world. So in this scenario, we just add some tactics and techniques and strategies which we should follow to increase the food production to compensate the requirement of food by each and every person in the world. Try to understand. That occurs only just through the method of breeding. It is classical breeding, plant breeding, in which man is going to involved for incorporate the tactics and techniques for a higher production of food. Understood, students? So you please note each and every point, ma. You please note down each and every point. It's very, very important. So these domesticated plants and local varieties are the varieties. These are the chief sources. Simply, you please note down. All these are the plants are chief sources or raw materials for implementing, for modifying, for alteration of genes in which we are trying to incorporate. To incorporate all those are the tactics and techniques by changing their genetic information, modification of genes requires raw materials or chief sources of plants. Okay, that is we are calling what domesticated plants or local varieties or wild varieties which nature provided to us. So we just utilize all those are the different kinds of local varieties or domesticated varieties and their relative plants which they came continuously from long years of time. Okay, till this current time, just we collect them and utilize them and preserve them as a very good chief sources and which are the sources of life, understood, of all these human beings and animals. Okay, students. So this is the domesticated plants and local varieties or wild varieties. All these are just to be collected and incorporate those tactics by some modern methods we following. Through which idea we trying to incorporate these tactics and techniques into the field of agriculture to get more productivity. That idea first be taken by a particular what we call program implemented in the world. It is a green revolution. What is, students? Say all of you, green revolution. What it is? Green revolution. This green revolution in the world first implemented, first initiated, started, okay, in the varieties of crop plants like wheat. Later on, slowly the development is spread over to all other crop plants like wheat, maize. So especially these three are the crop plants in which we, in the initial time, the green revolution is trying to incorporate the tactics and techniques and strategies for the production of wheat and cereals like wheat, rice and maize. Now got the point? So that occurred only through the program what it is, that is green revolution, students. So this green revolution is completely dependent on plant breeding. The plant breeding is only the approach through which we incorporate the strategies for higher production of higher varieties of food to the society. The program, what is the objective of program Green Revolution? Through Green Revolution, we have to get food sufficiently. We have to erase the world of hunger. We have to reduce the starvation. We have to send food sufficiently to all the poor people also in the world. That is the main objective. So how can we perform these activities? How can we fulfill all these objectives of Green Revolution? Only by increasing productivity in the field of agriculture. The productivity of agriculture only we increase by introducing tactics and techniques, strategies for enhancement in food production. Understood, students? Understood? So this is the Green Revolution, and everything just we follow to increase the productivity of plant food. Okay, by only the method which we follow is on which it is completely the Green Revolution depends, that is called plant breeding. What it is? Plant breeding. Now you please put the subheading plant breeding. Okay, it is the main important and first foremost important topic through which we understand the production of agricultural products, what we obtain from the crop plants. Understood? With desirable traits. Traits are nothing but characters. Desirable characters such as high productivity of food, high productivity, understood, and high quality, and that particular plants possess resistance towards environmental stresses like extreme temperature, salinity, and drought conditions, and those plants possess or having resistance towards pathogens like diseases which caused by disease causing organisms like bacteria, fungi, viruses, and some insect pests also very much threaten to plants and their growth and development. So how do these plants possess that much resistance, that much tolerance to insect pests? Everything we discussed in the topic, that is plant breeding, through which we are going to get more productivity, students. So the plant breeding is going to discuss in the next lecture. Okay, this is the introductory part. You please note down, and when we are going to discuss about plant breeding and what are the steps are there in the plant breeding, how to conduct, how to programming this plant breeding to get a very good varieties of plants which has all those desirable characters which are very much important for compensate the requirement of food in the world. Everything we discuss in the lecture. Let us know something about our topic, plant breeding. Understood? Plant breeding. Before going to discuss about the topic, what are the subtopics like plant breeding are there in the main lesson, strategies for enhancement in food production. I am going to mention here, you please note down. The first topic, it is plant breeding we are discussing. Note down, students, plant breeding. Okay. The second one is, we are going to discuss about single cell proteins, SCP. Single cell proteins, short form SCP, we are discussing. In the third subtopic of this lesson, strategies for enhancement in food production is, that is tissue culture. About tissue culture we are discussing. All these three are the subtopics of our lesson, strategies for enhancement in food production. What they are, students? Okay, the first one is plant breeding, second one is single cell proteins, SCP, and the third subtopic is tissue culture. All these three we are going to discuss in this chapter strategies for enhancement in food production. Okay, now let us know something about first subtopic of this lesson, plant breeding. Before going to discuss about plant breeding, now I am very much interested to ask one question, students. Just with this question we better to start our topic. Understood? Plant breeding. So the question is, of course, before classes what already finished, in that we didn't learn the information or the answer for this question. In the coming classes only we are going to discuss about this particular concept of this question, but I need to ask that question initially before going to discuss that particular topics, concepts of this question. Understood? It is the question or the concept related to this plant breeding. Okay, topic plant breeding. So now I want to ask this question. Once you note down this question, what is the question here? Once you read and better to note down in your running notes, what it is: golden rice is generally modified crop. Okay, golden rice is generally modified crop plant or crop where the incorporated gene is meant for biosynthesis of. Golden rice is a new variety. Already said na, through the topic of plant breeding, all we are the people are trying to incorporate tactics and strategies by changing the genes or changing the genotype of an organism to produce a variety of plant with more useful to humans, with more desirable characters. Understood? That is the main activities what we are doing in the topic plant breeding na, for increasing productivity, increasing nutrient quality, increasing resistance towards pathogens, resistance towards environmental conditions or stress, and resistance towards insect pests, everything. In all the desirable aspects we are trying to make up the genotype. The genotype which is going to tolerate all these conditions. Okay, understand? So like that it is a good variety, golden rice, generally modified crop where the incorporated gene, what gene we incorporated, we introduced in the new variety of rice plant, is meant for the biosynthesis of. Is it for vitamin B or vitamin B complex or vitamin C or vitamin A or omega 3 fatty acids? For what purpose we incorporate a new gene into the new variety of rice plant as a golden rice? That is the question. Okay, you please try to no need to worry to find out the answer what it is. In the future classes we are discussing about all these varieties of crop plants, what the changes we made in those plants, for what purpose we introduced those new genes, what we incorporated to modify the genotype of an organism to get more desirable variety of plants which are more beneficial to humans. Understood? So coming to the topic, plant breeding. What is plant breeding? You please put the subheading plant breeding. First you know the complete meaning of the topic or the concept. Okay, plant breeding, it is a process. Plant breeding is a process in which we change the genotype of an organism. We modified the genotype of an organism to produce new variety of plant, new variety of crop plant which has more desirable characters or which is more beneficial to humans. Understand? So you please note down, write down plant breeding. Okay, it is a process. It is a process in which change or modify or modifying the genotype, of an organism, to produce. Why should we change the genotype? To produce a new variety, or a new cultivar. Cultivar is nothing but a new variety of crop plants. Okay, a new variety of crop plants which is more beneficial or more useful to humans. That is the process which we are calling what? Plant breeding. Once again, you please revise the proper definition of plant breeding. It is a process in which change or modifying the genotype of an organism to produce a new variety of crop plants which is more useful to humans. That is the information, that is the definition of plant breeding. Okay, just to do this plant breeding, already we discussed, to do this plant breeding we require raw materials. Here they mentioned we are going to change or modify the genotype of an organism. To change the genotype requires genetic information which is present naturally in the plants. The plants are not immediately came from the outer side. They came from long years, continuously till what now we have in our locality, in our area. It is called local varieties or domesticated plants. Understood? Domesticated plants. What is domestication? Domestication is nothing but the plants what already proliferated or what already cultivated, what already consigned by the man. Understood? What agriculture, what crop plants, reproduced and distribute their number by man, those are called, that process we are calling as domestication. Those plants are called domesticated plants or nothing but wild varieties or local varieties. These domesticated or local varieties of plants are the raw materials or chief materials or chief sources on which we are trying to do the process of plant breeding, in which we altered or modified the genetic makeup to express the desirable characters as phenotypic characters. The characters with which characters we have very much interest to take food. Understood? The food quality and quantity in which we seen. Understood? The plants what phenotypically shown, they resistant towards the insect pests. Are they resistant towards the extreme environmental conditions, extreme environmental stresses like drought conditions, salinity, high temperatures? Before itself they couldn't live in those areas, but after the changing of genetic sequence in those plants, now the new varieties or new cultivars are trying to overcome those conditions. Before itself they haven't that much growth and development shown by them, but now they can easy to lead their life in the extreme conditions also, actively growing healthy for giving more productivity. That productivity is very much useful to humans. Now got the point? All those are the activities done in the particular process program. It is called plant breeding. This plant breeding, to perform this plant breeding requires domesticated plants. What are the plants are needed here? Domesticated plants are needed here. Domesticated plants are nothing but wild varieties. Already I said what is wild varieties or local varieties. Local varieties of crop plants what already they existed on the earth. Understood? Just we collect them and we trying to incorporate our tactics and techniques in all those are the raw plants or wild plants or local plants. Understood, students? Okay, this domestication or that conventional farming is started, you know, right, before 9,000 to 11,000 years. It is continuous. Okay, this domesticated plants or conventional farming, conventional breeding, plant breeding, it started before 9,000 to 11,000 years. So from that category, from that area, just we collected so many chief sources of plants like domesticated plants, in which we trying to start to do the process of plant breeding. What is that? Plant breeding. So this is the plant breeding. For what purpose we follow to do? Already I said little bit. What is the purpose to follow plant breeding? For increasing food productivity, quality and quantity, resistance towards the diseases and extreme environmental stresses and insect pests. For all these are the desirable traits we are trying to incorporate by changing, by alteration of genes in the wild plants. Understood, students? Understand? So we better to write all those are the desirable characters or traits what are needed to do this plant breeding. Understood? So here the trait. Before going to start the plant breeding, we better to know the purpose of plant breeding. Why should we go for doing plant breeding? What is the reason behind the plant breeding? We must know. Okay, before itself we better to, that's why we better to enlist all the reasons or desirable traits what we incorporate into the crop plants. We have to list wherever this program is going on. This program is conducted by government institutions or commercial companies. Whoever they may be, they are following the steps and methods of plant breeding in the sequential order. All those are the steps are carried out by government organizations or non-government organizations like commercial companies. They have to follow sequential steps what should followed by each and every person to do the plant breeding. Whatever the steps are needed for performing plant breeding, before going to discuss about all the steps which are following to do the plant breeding, we better to enlist whoever they may be, they have to enlist the traits, desirable characters. They would like to list all the desirable characters, make the list. In the list they have to add so many desirable characters, whether they may be incorporated or not, whether they may be expressed or not phenotypically, it is not the matter, but we are trying to incorporate them as maximum as possible. But in that the first foremost important trait which should be incorporated into the plants, it is higher productivity of, to produce more production or yielding. How can we produce more yielding, more productivity? Okay, quantity wise, and how can we increase the purity of nutrients or quality of nutrients, quality of productivity? So all these are the basic. So we better to enlist all the characters what necessary to add here. Okay, the traits, you please subheading that is traits. The traits that incorporated into crop plants You please subheading traits that incorporated into crop plants are. You have to list out them. In that the first trait it is, the first one is we have to get more yielding. What is the first character? More yielding. It is the basic desirable character which compensates the requirement of food by all the people in the world. Dear students, you got the point? So more yielding is a desirable trait or a desirable character through which we compensate the requirement of food in the world. So that is the first foremost desirable trait or character we have to list out here. The second trait or character is what it is? So it explains about quantity of food. It explains about quantity of food, right? Now we go for quality. It explains clearly about quantity of food, Nana. Quantity of food. So of course we have quantity, much quantity. Tons of food we have. Millions of tons of food we have in the world. But that food should get more nutrients. The nutrients which are basically need to the body for its metabolic functions. Okay, nourishment. The nourishment should be in quality. So next character is quality of food. Quality of food or quality of nutrients. Quality of nutrients. Students, you please note down. Each and every point is very much important. You please note down and understand. The next trait what we trying to incorporate into the new plants or new cultivars, that is resistance. Resistance to environmental stresses. Environmental stresses. Environmental stresses means what it is? Extreme temperature. Students, are you listening? Extreme temperature. Extreme temperature and salinity, and drought conditions. All these are the different environmental conditions which are not suitable for the growth and development of the plants, students. I think you know. Okay, these are the conditions like extreme temperature, salinity and drought conditions are not favorable to the plants to lead their life normally for their growth and development. So that's why plants may not reach for giving food, reach the level of food how much they are going to give. They have ability to give much productivity, but the climatic conditions are not cooperated to give much food. In that situation, those plants are, how do they overcome those conditions to give more productivity? More productivity, what is the first character we are observing? More productivity with more quality when they haven't any adverse conditions, when they haven't any obstacles, then like extreme temperature, salinity, drought conditions or pathogenic activity or insect pest activity, then definitely they are giving, they fulfill those two first characters like more yielding and more quality of food, right quality of food. Understood? The next character what we are trying to incorporate here, resistance or tolerance. Here, resistance or tolerance. Suitable word we better to use here, tolerance. Tolerance, endurance. Okay, here now we better to use the suitable term for here, resistance towards pathogens You know very well pathogens, what they damage the crop plants. Pathogens means disease causing organisms like bacteria. You know so many bacterial diseases, bacteria, fungi and viruses. We just considered them as disease causing organisms or pathogens. So whatever the genetic alteration we made in the plants are going to maintain, sustain that new genetic sequence and modification which can easy to resistance towards the pathogens. Then whatever the plants are altered with resistance towards the pathogens, after the infections what done on all the plants, then they may not do any harmful situations to the plants. The plants can easy to overcome those harmful conditions created by the pathogens. So then they are growing well and give more yielding to us. Understand? The next very much important trait what we incorporate into the particular crop plants are, that is very much important, resistance towards insect pests. Two means in the list we have to add this one. This is also one of the important one of the important trait or point what we trying to incorporate into the plants in which we trying to change the genetic makeup during the process of plant breeding. Students, are you understanding or not? You please listen carefully and note down each and every point. Each and every one of these points has its own importance. Whatever the question they may come in the examinations, you will be able to write answers. Take right option as answer. Okay, students. So all these are the different traits or characters what we trying to incorporate into the crop plants during the process of plant breeding, students. Understood? So already I said to incorporate these characters by changing the genetic sequence, by modification of genetic sequence. Changing means not complete DNA or not complete genetic sequence. Okay? In the convenient locations and regions of the genetic sequence, what the scientists are trying to add new and a variety of characters of genes, what they have that much, what they have expressions to control these particular or to regulate all these desirable characters what we are expecting in the crop plants. Now got the point? So to do all these activities requires laboratory techniques, you know very well. Okay. Before the laboratory techniques we go for artificial techniques we follow in the process of artificial selection, everything we discussed. Understood? And we need to discuss about this plant breeding requires some other branches of science is needed, like what they are, like biochemistry, molecular biology and genetics. What are the branches and their information and their help is required here? They are biochemistry, means we are discussing about biochemicals here, and chemicals and biochemistry and genetics, genes. Whatever you want to study about gene and its expressions, we go for a branch of science, it is called genetics. You know, every gene is a segment of DNA which is trying to express their own character or trait. Suppose whatever the person is there here and their shape, height, weight, color, everything in the same way plants, whatever the morphological characters they are going to show phenotypically express out. Understood? And whatever the biochemicals, understood, whatever the anatomical characters they have, right? So morphologically, biochemically and behaviorally. Biochemically means physiologically, morphologically, physiologically or biochemically and behaviorally. Behaviorally means what is the behavior they shown clear. Is it susceptible to diseases or resistant to diseases? Are they possess that much height, or are they very short or dwarf plants? Whatever it may be, just what behave they have. So, for example, these expressions of characters like morphological, biochemical and behaviorally in the products what we are obtaining from the plants, such as yielding of plants as seeds, how many of seeds or grains we are obtaining from a plant, a single plant. This first plant is going to give, for example, a rice plant you may take. One rice plant may give nearly, okay, approximately 200 grams to 150 grams to 200 grams. Suppose to take exemplary concept it is. You please recall 100 to 150 grams of rice grains. Understood? Or some other in the same field, some other plants are going to different with this first plant. Now you focus your concentration on second rice plant. It has to be give 200 grams to 220 grams of rice grains. Supposed to. So like that, one plant to another plant, they have some little differences in their characters, expression of characters. So to express all these different characters requires genes. The genes are only hidden segments of DNA what present inside the cell is there out behind the screen. On the screen, whatever the matter is going on, whatever the supposed to take, whatever the information I am writing here, before itself I have some idea, right? I need to recall my idea what I am trying to write on the board. But that ideas, whatever it may be, are not expressed directly out. The information what I am presenting on the board is only visible to you. In the same way, dear students, in the body of living things, whatever the living thing has its own genetic material, which is going to show different genes. Each and every gene has its own respective trait. Trait are nothing but a character, what expressed out, what phenotypically or anatomically, whatever the character we are observing behaviorally, like a number of seeds, yielding of seeds, and shape and size of the fruits or seeds, okay, and healthy conditions of the plant body, every time it always infected with diseases or not. It is also the phenotypic character to understand the plant whether it is healthy or diseased. Understood? So all these are the characters we are going to observe in the plants by incorporate them through the method it is called plant breeding, students. Now got the point? Plant breeding. Understood? To follow this particular plant breeding, we have to get some help. We need to, we means here the persons who are going to do the plant breeding. Understood? We need to take information or involvement, take information from other branches of science. Other branches of science such as you know, genetics, molecular biology, where we are observing biomolecules. Biomolecules, what they perform rapid role in our body. Biomolecules, you know, already we discussed in the first year. You please recall them: proteins, fats, carbohydrates, whatever it may be. Yes, molecular biology. Especially in the molecular biology, how to biochemicals play a role to make genetic sequence, whatever it may be, tools, whatever the tools we are using, right? So biomolecular tools nowadays we are using. Genetics, molecular biology, and tissue culture. It is a modern technique in science. That is tissue culture, plant tissue culture, where we are going to take some a piece of a little amount of cells or tissue, what we collected in the in vitro, what we collected and grow in vitro conditions. Understood? Into a individual plant. Okay, not all the species, some species are able to rise whole plant body from a single or small piece of tissue what we have collected from that. That is we are calling tissue culture. What we are going to discuss in this chapter also. Yes. So, genetics, molecular biology and tissue culture are the chief sources of information we collected from all the branches of science to do plant breeding. You please note down. Plant breeding. And nowadays in the modern period of time, we follow molecular tools, different tools we are using. We follow to use, here you please note down, we follow to use molecular tools for incorporate or transfer genes. Incorporate genes or traits into desired plants or crop plants. Now got the point? You please note down. Understand? So, of course, to do all these activities, we depends on other branches of science, of course, but by using that information, we proceed to do this plant breeding. Requires raw materials, already I said na, the raw materials like domesticated plants or wild varieties. Understood? Wild varieties, in which we are going to do this program for getting a new variety of crop plants, in which we are expecting to incorporate all these incorporate genes, what they expressed, all these traits or characters on which we depends. Now got the point? So, this is the information about the particular little information before the experimental program what we are doing as plant breeding. This is the little information what we have, we require to have. Understood? Now we are going to discuss about the steps what actually needed to do the plant breeding. So now you please put the subheading, the steps, the various steps in the plant breeding, what followed by government organizations and commercial companies, what they should follow these steps in sequential manner to produce new cultivar with desirable characters. Okay, students, in the next we are going to discuss about all the particular steps what they involved in the plant breeding. So, now we are focus on the various steps in plant breeding. The various steps in plant breeding. Means the steps which involved in the plant breeding. Okay. This plant breeding is followed by whoever they may be. Actually, this is the program is followed by government organizations, and commercial companies. Commercial companies means what they are? You know, food producing companies. Some companies they are growing crop plants, okay, in their own, and they are producing more yielding of food from those crops. So they also follow, means what, they also follow the plant breeding. Whoever they may be, who wants to conducting a type of farming that is classical farming or classical plant breeding, what they are going to follow? They are going to follow various steps. What they are? Means commercial companies, they have to follow, companies are these sequential steps. Sequential steps means in the order, systematic order they have to follow. Systematic order they have to follow. These sequential or systematic, you please note down, systematic steps followed government organization, commercial companies, or these sequential steps in plant breeding. In plant breeding. Okay. Of course, in the systematic way they have to follow all these sequential steps, what necessary to follow to do the process of plant breeding. What is plant breeding? Already we discussed. So here basically 5 sequential steps are needed or required for plant breeding. Plant breeding, they are the first one is a collection of variability. Collection of variability, okay, or collection of germplasm. Collection of germplasm. The second step it is selection and evaluation. Selection and evaluation of parents or parental plants. Okay. Selection and evaluation of parental plants or parents. The third step, what it is? Cross hybridization. Cross hybridization. Where we are doing cross hybridization? Among these selected parents. Understood? Among selected parents. Now got the point? So cross hybridization we are going to do among the selected parents. The fourth step, which is a very much a time taking process, that is what it is? Testing evaluation. Of course, all these other steps are taking time much. Testing evaluation of superior recombinants. Okay, before itself we have done cross hybridization, then definitely we are producing some seeds as offsprings or progeny. In that progeny group of seeds, all may not be superior, all are may not be with superior qualities or characters. In that again we started to evaluate or select or test them, which one is good seeds, which one is not good seed, everything. So in that, what are the good quality seeds we see in, that is we are calling superior recombinants. What they are, students? Tell me once. Superior recombinants. So testing and evaluation of superior recombinants. Last one but not least, it is the step through which we are ready to sending. That particular breeders feel very happy where they are going to send the seeds. As a result, what they obtained in that particular period of time, much time they are going to do the plant breeding, nearly it's for 7 to 8 years. 7 years to 8 years are taking maximum time to release a first cultivar into the field of agriculture or into the society as new breeders, through which we are expecting all those desirable characters what already discussed. Okay, so this is the last step. It is what it is, testing, release and commercialization of new cultivars. What is this? This is testing, release and commercialization of new cultivars. All these are the 5 sequential steps are needed for plant breeding, students. Understand? Here you please note down, all these are the points are very much needed to note down. Here one more point you have to follow, that is plant breeding. What is the plant breeding? It is classical plant breeding. Classical plant breeding is consists of hybridization. Hybridization means what it is? Crossing between 2 parent plants. That is we are calling what? Hybridization, crossing. So classical plant breeding consists of hybridization, which is followed by artificial selection. You please note down, artificial selection. What is artificial selection here, students? Selection means, suppose to you take 100 plants of same crop. In that all the plants are you expecting to see morphologically, phenotypically equal? Are all in same phenotypic characters? No. Some are there healthy plants, some are the diseased plants or infected plants, some are they are very dull, inactive, stunted growth they shown, some are they are not giving flowers in the right time. Okay, some are they may not increase their shoot, some are they are not get developmental changes by showing reproductive organs like flowers. Okay, like that, whatever it may be, different categories of plants are there. Okay, all the plants are not in the same development, with same development. We are not expecting, right? So in that you just I am asking you, just you collect some healthy plants among these. Then you are collecting only, for example, I have given 100 plants, in that you just brought only 10 plants. Means what it is? What is the content I am giving? Based on which criteria you just collected those 10 plants? What criteria I have given to you? That is healthy plants. So among 100 plants you collected only 9 to 10 plants, means you thought them as they are healthy plants because they have very good leaves, healthy leaves, flowers, shoot, everything, root, everything is in the good in condition without any symptoms what indicating you as it is suffering from disease. So means all those are just we are going to separate the plants into 2 groups or 3 groups. Some are very good healthy plants, some are they are medium, some are they are not good. Like that the total hundreds of the plants we can easily to categorize them into 2 or 3 categories or 4 categories based on their phenotypic characters what they shown. Though all the plants are same variety, same crop, but phenotypically they are not similar in features. So based on that dissimilarities we just separate them, categorize them. So we select them. So that is we are calling what selection. That selection naturally done by the nature only. You know already we discussed, we learned something about different concepts and different theories given by some scientists, especially like Charles Darwin. You know right, some other scientists also they given some idea about natural selection, understood struggle for existence, survival of the fittest, understood. All these are the different concepts related to the nature. Nature is only performing these activities. Nature decides the plants and animals and human beings, whatever the living form on the earth who are be on the land, who are going to be rejected from the land or earth. Based on focusing environmental conditions or whatever the changes taking place in the environment decides who are be on the land, who are not be on the land, who are eliminated from the earth, means die. So that particular selection done by the nature, it is called natural selection. But now we are doing that selection. Which plant which plants we are taken as parents for next generations, for taking next generations, the plants as parental plants for getting offsprings, definitely we are selecting healthy plants only. From the diseased plants, such kinds of selection we are calling what? We only made that selection, man-made selection, that is we are calling artificial selection ma. So simply the classical breeding is consists of hybridization, means crossing, and artificial selection. These two are the basic criteria what we follow to do plant breeding with all these 5 different sequential steps what should followed by the institutions, whether they are government institutions or private institutions like commercial companies have to follow systematic order. All these are the with all these 5 sequential steps what necessary to do the plant breeding for getting desirable characters. Understood? So you have to note down each and every point and understand and revise the available materials or textbooks, like textbooks, whatever it may be. Then you please gather the information in your running notes and note down, and you please try to understand each and every point for increasing our concepts level and increase our standard on this particular topic or whatever it may be for taking for doing well in the examination. Okay, thank you students. Next we are clearly discuss about detailed description of each and every step, how to perform each and every step to do the plant breeding for getting a new cultivar.